This is Rec in Vegas. To recap, Chad has signed what he hopes to be the greatest Call of Duty team in the world, and he brought them here to Las Vegas. But to be a team in the Call of Duty World League, we still need to claim one of only 12 remaining spots at the CWL Pro League qualifiers. If they don't make it, there won't be another opportunity to qualify for a full year. For some, their entire careers are on the line this weekend. This is Rec in Vegas, and this is their story.
This week has been probably the most stressful week of my life.
Making it to the Pro League is everything for every player. If you don't make it to the Pro League, your year's done. So basically your last 5 years was on the line this weekend.
When you actually make it, it's like, you actually sit there and think, if I didn't make it, that'd be it, it'd be done. Your year's done, so it means more than you can imagine.
Our first game was against Team Sweden this weekend, and they previously beat us at Vegas 3-0. The team just caught fire and we just 3-0'd them like it was nothing.
He's going to tag Brain up well. He's got the saw, gets an up-close gunfight. He's going to win that 9 out of 10 times. And he's going to let it ride and get the next.
Everyone was doing everything right, and that's when I knew the weekend was going to go well.
For us to come through how we did in the pool that we were in, which was an extremely tough pool, the first feeling was relief at the end of the day.
After Team Sweden, we had Enigma 6, and we started hot against them 2-0. A couple misplays happened in our part, and they won 3-2, and they just took the momentum and rode it right through to the last map. They were 5-1 up. I don't know if they bottled it like completely, or we stepped up. I couldn't tell you. 1-5 comeback last map. It's not happened in a long time.
Oh, sweet Jesus! Stench just annihilates Diabolic.
We just don't like losing in general, so nearly getting reverse swept. We went down 5-1 last map. Pretty scary moment, because that was going to be our first loss.
We were getting absolutely destroyed. We did not deserve to win the map, and luckily the boys seemed to have ice in the veins. They proved that a couple of times this weekend. They made the big 5-1 comeback.
So after we came off a high of a 1-5 comeback, we played a team who have not won a map yet. They were European amateurs, and they smoked us 3-0.
I feel like it's just people underestimating people, because when they're playing somebody they've never heard of before, you just think you're going to smoke them, when in reality they're going to give you a really good game, just like this weekend, this week's shown.
We started 2-0 in pools. Losing to them put us in a sticky situation, because we sort of threw away the hard work we'd done in the previous games.
And putting a loss on the board is just annoying, and kind of, okay, now we can't lose another game, otherwise, we might have to be in this tiebreaker situation and go through the gauntlet or the double elite bracket.
For FaZe Black, it started well. We won the first map as expected, and then they come back and beat us 3-1.
We beat the hard teams and lost to the teams we should have beat.
We kind of let the control go out of our hands. Our fate was kind of dependent on other teams' performances.
Very stressful. I was expecting the worst outcome.
As a team, we've always had trouble playing amateur teams. I don't know what it is, we just seem to struggle against them. And against the top level teams, we always perform to a higher standard. And that's something that we'll have to look at, because going into events and so on, you just can't let that happen.
That put us like mid-table, so we weren't qualified yet. Played FaZe later that night, who are technically the better team, and went from absolutely getting smoked to absolutely smoking FaZe.
Nothing out the Annihilator has set now finds 3 more. There's the clear. There's the kills, and FaZe are toast. Reciprocity. What a win. What a series.
The next day was the qualifying day pretty much, which was Project 18.
We were all on edge a little bit, because we knew it was like sort of do or die. We had to win this game to have a chance of making it.
Back of our minds, we were like, we've lost to 2 amateur teams now. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. We showed up again at another 3-0. We just absolutely ran through them. It was the quickest series in this game so far.
After we beat Project 18, we thought we had to rely on Enigma 6 to beat FaZe Black to make it through to qualify as the top 2 team. So we just gathered around the TVs and watched our fate play out, kind of thing. Probably got more nervous and stressed out watching that than I have any other game, because of what was on the line.
When MLG had told us that we qualified, we're kind of like, how? We questioned it. We're like, we tried doing the maths ourselves. How have we qualified?
Because there was, I think, 3 teams that could have finished 4 and 2, and then depending on the tiebreaker situation and map counts, we may have actually just gone through to the bracket rather than auto qualification.
I didn't believe it. Whiskin was messaging in the chat, and he's like, we've qualified, and in our head for 2 days straight, we thought that E6 had to beat FaZe Black to guarantee our spot.
I was just over the moon, ecstatic. I think we did just hugs all around. I was just so happy and relieved. Obviously a very stressful weekend.
This has been so fucking stressful.
Hasn't really sunk in yet. I still can't work it out or not if it was true, because the way we did qualify to get through by beating only the big teams, and it's an incredible feeling and such a relief.
The more we thought about it, I'm like, are we sure they're like not wrong or mistaken? Because we went through the scenarios the night before for the Saturday games. There was about 7,000 possible outcomes for all the groups, and then A6-1 anyway. So I was like, well, regardless if we weren't in before, we're in now.
They only needed to win one map, which we didn't know at the time. We wish we knew, because the celebrations would have been completely different. We stood up, we were happy, but at the same time we were like, shit, now we need to wait for another team.
The reason the victory dance didn't happen, we said when we qualify, we're gonna do it. We didn't find out until we were off stage.
I told everyone to do it, but then they would literally say, no chance, we can't do it, we can't do it.
I think that would be bad karma, because we still thought we were waiting on the E6 game to finish.
Sean was really against it, Dens didn't want to do it. Brad and Zach were sort of up for it, but then they bottled it, so I didn't want to do it by myself, but yeah, the team said no.
If we knew, I'm sure Sean would have been flopping around on the main stage like a fish. There may be some footage of me trying to do it to Sean.
Yeah, Sean got his groove on a bit.
He does it very, very half-arsedly.
Shane just randomly jumped across the room, he started doing the lasso,
Wrapped it round him,
which I'm pretty sure was Dens' move.
and he had a little waddle, but he didn't put much effort into it, we'll just say that.
Everyone was just trying to like push me to do it. I was like, do you know what, fuck it.
Yeah, Sean did it. I'd say it was more he walked 2 steps than danced, but I think he got a bit embarrassed and stopped.
I done a little bit and then I realised what I was doing. So I just looked at myself from like the third person and I was like, you gotta stop.
So now we've qualified.
So what happens from here is we go into a pool draw later tonight, depending on what division we're in, and have a couple days break.
We will be flying back here on February the 4th, I believe it is. It's a pretty quick turnaround for when the league starts.
Regardless of the freezing cold weather we're only going to be a stone's throw away from where we're going to be competing. Hopefully that should make the process a lot easier.
Qualifying for the league is pretty much set a whole year out, so that's why it's so big to us. We've got all the open events to attend, we've got champs at the end of the year, we've got the pro league to go to, so it's just get home, practice, try and become the best team in the world.
This is Rec in Vegas. Follow us and subscribe to stay in the loop.